So this clothing brand was stuck at 3 sales a day. Now they're pulling in $60,000 months and they didn't change their product. If you're running ads for your clothing brand and still stuck under $10,000 a month, this is why. We took a men's resort wear brand from invisible to $60K per month in 30 days without changing the product, price, or creative. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact playbook so that you can steal this for your brand, the same one that we've used to scale 300 clothing brands in the last 12 months alone. No viral videos, no influencer campaigns, just clean, creative, smart ad structure, and a system that knows how to scale. All right, so number one is research. And I know this isn't sexy. Please don't skip over it because it is the most important part. It is the most important piece of your business. It is why most people do not grow, do not scale, and do not have sustainability. Okay, so research. What does that mean? It's a very vague term. How would you do it? Okay, so there's a couple of things that I would do. I would want to know exactly who the audience is. So I go through our own framework of understanding who is the struggling avatar. And for you, you may realize that you are the struggling avatar. That is the answer here, right? So your core values, your identities, your experience, your knowing, all of those things make you the avatar so that you know your customer the best, okay? So we would want to do the research. Now for us, since we are working alongside this brand, we are not the customer. We have to go through this document, have them share it with us, and then we can start the research. Where do we go to research? I go look at, number one, competitors. The way that you should define competitors, in my opinion, is somebody who would actually think that you're competing with them. Okay, I've heard a lot of brands who are in the high-end luxury space that are just starting out, and they tell me that their competitors are Louis Vuitton or Gucci or Chanel. Well, they are not. Sorry. I am so sorry. You are not competing with them. You're not even in the same race, right? If this is a baseball game, we got professionals, and then we got people who've never picked up a glove. And that's okay. Completely fine. But you got to go after competitors, people who are within reach. So if you're at $0 per month, try to find somebody doing around 5 to 10K per month, or perceived to be doing that. Maybe even 20K per month. It's not that you shouldn't shoot for the stars, you should, but let's be realistic here in the sense that like you trying to compete with $1 billion company, it's not happening on day one. Eventually, maybe you will get there. I believe in you, but let's do it a little bit differently. So we need to define competitors. How would I find competitors and research that? Well, I could just go to Instagram, I could do the search feature and just find people within my niche. If it's a Christian streetwear brand, if it's a clothing boutique, if it's some kind of sustainability, go through the accounts and start looking for them. I would find 5 to 10 competitors max, right? And the lower the number, honestly, probably a little bit the better. So a smaller number. Then what I would do is I'd go to things like, are they selling on, like, let's say for example, I would do True Brand. All right, so True Brand hats or reviews. I would look at Amazon if they have it there. I would look at their website. I would look at anywhere here. So they got 4.3 stars. They only have 6 reviews, which is interesting. I would look at Reddit. What are people saying? Never seen this before. Maybe I live under a rock. That was 3 years ago. Find things that are relevant. 4.6 stars. What are people saying? I would look at the 3s. What are people, like, where's the gap in the marketplace? I would find that gap. What is the problem that you're actually solving? So number 2, problem. No, and with this, it's like, is it internal or external? So external could be that there isn't a hat that represents your city. Okay, great, that's a problem, or that you don't fit in. External. Good marketing breaks down the internal. So because there isn't a hat that represents my city or that I don't fit in, my internal feeling is that I feel lost, I feel like I'm stressed, I feel anxious, it makes me feel like I can't fit in, it feels like I, am an outsider. Like all those are internal stressors, so I would create content around that. I know who my competitors are, I know what those problems are, I know what the internal and external struggles are, and because of all of those things, I can now start to create content around them and start to notate what it is, right? So then once I figure out those things, I could go over to, let's say for example, their Instagram and see what kind of content works for them. That's why I want to do 5 to 10 brands and see like, okay, what are they posting, right? This is a single image, this is a really good example. Okay, they're releasing something with the Dallas Wings. They got some videos. Like which you're standing out, okay? So again, just an example of True Brand. You can go and look at, for example, Dad Gang. What are they doing? How are they creating content? So that's how we do the research. And it is, like I said, probably one of the most important pieces. Now we do have this creative process that I haven't really shared too much before, but these are like, what are the desires that people have? What are the features and benefits? who are the customer avatar, which we talked a little bit about earlier, and then the creative roadmap, like are the ads on or off, which again, we'll kind of get to a little bit later, but you don't need any of that until you actually start to do the research and you understand. And I can't remember exactly who said the quote, but basically you should spend 75% of your time on this research piece. The other 25% is more so probably about 20% of it is creating the content, the other 5% is putting in an ads manager and spending some time on it. But that is what we're gonna get into in the rest of this video and share some real numbers. Hi, I just wanna say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. My name is Aaron, and alongside my business partner, Christian, we built this channel for you, clothing brand owners. So our goal is to give you the tools to build a profitable clothing brand that could change you and your family's lives. If you found any value in this video so far, please give us a nice little like and subscribe. It is free and it really does help us a lot. P.S. If you do this in the next 3 seconds, I will share with you my favorite 80s movie of all time. Can you guess it? You probably can't guess it, but you can try. You already said the answer, so it's okay.
Oh, it is Breakfast Club? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the parts that you guys actually care about. So here's a breakdown of Triple Whale. If you are not familiar with Triple Whale, basically it is third-party attribution, which essentially just means that in 2021, when Apple did their update and they took away the ability for us to track really accurately and when everybody was killing it with ads, you know, we hit an RIP day, and a lot of that data couldn't be passed back from Meta to, or basically from when the purchase happened from Shopify to Meta. Well, this is the gap. Triple Whale does that. It's about 99% accurate, so these are real numbers. As you can see here, Meta says this was a 2.2, Triple Whale says this is a 1, this is a ROAS on Google was a 6, it was actually a 6.5, so it gives us the accuracy of what's actually happening. So if you're spending $100 a day, or you're spending money on Google and Facebook and TikTok and wherever, and you're not using third-party tracking, I would highly suggest that you do. There is a link for Triple Whale down below. This is not some kind of sponsored video by them, but if you do use our code, I believe you can get like 15% off. Honestly, nobody should be flying blind. Whether you use Triple Whale or something else, I do care, but at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that you're tracking something correctly. So this is inside of Triple Whale. I'll show you the ads manager because everybody else wants to see that. So we're spending about $400 per day. This part really doesn't matter too much, but you will see here that the DPA, so dynamic product ad, this carousel, is what's generating all the sales. So we have one campaign, I believe it, yes, one campaign, one for a DPA, and one that is a more of a post ID route or an image or a single image or video route that's spending the majority of the sale or getting the majority of the sales. So we spend a total of, what is that, 9, 10, 11, 12,000, let's double check it, 12,416 on Meta, and a 1x return on Ads Manager. Some of you guys are going to be freaking out right now. Don't worry. I don't care about how much the return is in one platform as much as I do about the return in the business, which the return in the business is a 4x. Okay, so 4.1. We are very profitable, promise you. And let me break it down because everybody's ROAS is a little bit different. Everybody on the internet says, give me a 4, 5, 6, 7x return. Would I like a bigger number on Meta? For sure. I mean, who wouldn't? But at the end of the day, this brand's goal was to scale and do it profitably. So for our business as a whole, we spend $1 and we make $4. If I was only focused on profitability, I probably would have made $45,000 instead of $60. I would have made a lot less volume, but I wouldn't have gotten the LTV or lifetime value for the customer. So my goal for this brand was to generate revenue and do it profitably. And I will take $1, spend $1 to make $4 all day, every day. And let me break this down to you. This one right here, okay, let's look at the creative. It's all broken down off of what is live right now. So different sets, again, we mostly, almost always exclusively go broad, which is open targeting. It just means that we are letting Meta do the targeting for us. Now, these cost per purchases, higher than we would like them to be. $107 purchases. Why I would like turn this off, which is done. Okay, why was that? Too far outside of our constraint. We really want about $75 to $80 cost per acquisition from where we're at. This was over on that side. 95, still in a good spot. 74, 60, doing great. This is a new one, as you can see. So 117 versus 118 got turned off as well. 119 doing better. Part of this is that we had products that ran into some issues in China, as many of you guys probably know, and we ran out of some best sellers. Okay, so what did we do? We scaled on the back of best sellers. The next part of this, I'll actually get into the creative a lot more and tell you what I would actually change, but just kind of a little bit more on that here in a second. A lot of times I don't think people understand what these actually mean. So we labeled them so that it's very simple for us to follow this kind of process, which is like, and these are two different accounts, just to clarify, right? 105, 106, 107, where are they at? So then what's turning on, what's turning off. And then we go over here and give like, okay, this is a discount on a premium item. What gives the testing good? Like, did it do well? Ads underperformed for this one. Ads did well here. Cost per purchase above $450 for this particular brand. Like, again, those ads are off. All right, so we go over here, and if something's active, I put it as active. If it's not, I'm going to put it in planning, filming, etc. But then I'll put notes of like the learnings here. For example, this one never really spent, so turn it off, and then we're launching new content. Again, ad structure, pretty much the same as what I would suggest no matter what if you are launching an account and how this would be done. The only reason we did the DPA is because typically it takes a lot of the budget, and so we want to test different parts of creative, but it's very simple. So one campaign, and then ad sets. You can start with one, like if this is at $100 a day, a couple of ad sets, and then ads. So that's one campaign setup. One that we do really like, it's stable, it's never gonna get you like a 6x return, unless you use something like Marpipe, and there's some other new cool AI ones with the just basically product ads, dynamic product ads, which dynamically update from what's actually in stock, which is what saved us here because we had some stuff that were bestsellers that went out, and so this pulled in some new ones. But, so campaign, ad set, DPA. Now, the difference here is that this DPA would be based off of product line, not the full product line. Now, if you only have 10 products, cool, you could do that. But like for the most part, if you're not spending a ton per day, or like let's say this is $100 a day or so, I would just do a product line. So let's say this is polos, or let's say this is just t-shirts. I would do a collection, or just a t-shirt line, or just a pair of jeans, whatever it'd be. But you want to keep this to where it's very specific to like all denim or all t-shirts or all dresses versus just doing the full product line, because that starts to run into a lot of data and honestly takes too much to get learning. Now, you're spending $5,000 a day, $3,000 a day, then cool, that starts to make sense, but not too much more than that. Just again, the product line, it's going to do a little bit better for you. And then if you wanted to, a different ad set for a DPA to do a different like denim versus t-shirts. Oh, and I forgot to mention this too, but if you do want the struggling avatar document, just comment the word avatar down below, and I'll send over that link to you so that you can use that in your business. One other thing to mention here, so whenever you're inside a TripWell, I always like to just look at them side by side. Now, what people won't understand, or maybe some people don't understand, is that, so Meta's driving a lot of the views, majority of it, as you can see. So most of the spend is actually coming from Meta and not from Google, but Meta drives the views. It's the disruption marketing. People Google us, and then we picked all of those up with Google Ads. And so you can go in here to Google. You can see very quickly what this is, but for the most part, it's going to be product specific or a performance max campaign. But you can go into the specific account and you can see that Google is basically just picking up all the things that were left behind. And you can do this through a performance max campaign, PMax for short, and that's exactly what this Google Ads campaign is. So if we go inside of here, you'll see, again, performance max general, general search, and they're all for a very specific product category. Great return, like I mentioned, cost per acquisition, great, but you got to factor in the full business or the full funnel, which also includes the Meta side of things as well. Hey, also, if you're looking to get more clarity on why your clothing brand isn't growing like it should be, you can schedule a free strategy call with us. All you need to do is pick a time on the calendar that works best for you. There's a link in the description and down below, and obviously there are limited spots, so go do that right now, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so a couple of things. Now, this was a 60K, got to a 4X return. How do we get to 100K? What would we do differently? Well, number one, if you go look at their Instagram, it's basically non-existent. There's no Instagram. This is all done through ads and the website. What I would also do is the site looks good, has the target audience right there. I think it's got a good breakdown of everything. The problem is this looks good on desktop. They know who their customer is, but mobile, not so great. Lots of different things getting in the way, which is why this DPA is working well and these aren't doing as well. Not because the ads aren't. A lot of times it has nothing to do with the ads. Just exactly my point here when I'm showing you this inside of TripWell is that we're sending people to a site with creative that doesn't match. The mesh between them doesn't really match. They are part of our program, the OSO program, Optimized Store Owner program, so we can't control too much on their website yet. We can advise. We do handle the ad side of things, and we do handle some consulting pieces as well, but they're kind of working on the website, and we are trying to move forward on making some changes for mobile and getting the site updated. So that's what I would do. Number one. Number two is I would look at their Instagram and their social. There's a lot of things that are not being done here that they could be adding value for people and creating content for people. You know, we've mentioned in previous videos that could get engagement, like styling tips for dads or Father's Day. Like these are all big events that it could be capitalized on, right? So we're in the summer right now. We're getting into like beachwear, or you should already have been in beachwear. This is obviously a nice house in the background, kind of showcasing the ideal customer. But how can we dive deeper into it? How can we start getting into the actual problems that they have? We're hitting on basically one core problem as a good fit, and it's mostly the women who are buying for the guys. And so we can unlock so many different levels here, go after a different avatar, a different persona, a different customer, different problems that they have. So I'd be fixing the website, then I would be fixing the messaging on the avatar and who we're going after, and then I would spend more on meta once we can get that. Now, our break even for this is about 1.3, 1.2. Or for the first part of the month, we were not profitable. Second half of the month, we were very profitable, but we continue to scale. Like I said, total blended was a 2.97 here from the ads, and then total blended for the business is a 4. LTV was good. Email's doing okay. There's a lot of love that we can do on email and SMS, and we haven't done anything with ManyChat. So this brand got to $60K per month, spending $1, making 4x return. You can do the exact same thing. And this is, again, the framework that I would use to scale this thing to 100, 200, 300, 500K per month is to fix these leaky holes. This brand literally has like 89 followers or 79 followers on Instagram, no posts. If they can do that, you can as well. And I would honestly lean in on organic much more than I would on the paid side of things because it costs you no money, and then you could scale up. Because you're probably thinking on the other side of the screen, well, if I had the money, I would have just spent it. They had the money to do it. This is true. However, they put in the reps previously. They did other things to make the brand grow, okay? So they had a brick and mortar location that they were doing well in. They had all of these things that they put in place, lots of years of experience. The online side of things is what we're focused on. And most of the purchases don't even come close to a location where they're at brick and mortar. So it's a brand new business to these people online. So if it was me, I would do organic. I would find outliers. I would clarify the message. I would hit on the problems, specifically internal problems. I would make sure the email is doing really well. I would make sure that I am using tools like ManyChat or using tools that are free to get people to engage with me on social or get questions, practice my hooks, practice my beginning of the video, if you will, which is the hook, and get people to engage, and then take that winning content and put it into Ads Manager, this type of Ads Manager, not really the DPA, and then I would start to scale. If you only got 10, 15, 20 products, you could do a DPA or dynamic product ad and have this carousel and just continue to update that, and maybe you start at $10, $20 a day and continue to run it while you're doing organic. But at the end of the day, this is a brand right now, and I'll give an update here in the future. How do we scale this thing to 100K per month or 150 or 200K per month? And that's exactly what I would do here. A lot of it, and the majority of this video is broken down for how do we do this for the research side of things. All right, y'all, so now you know the strategies to grow your clothing brand. It's time to put gasoline on the fire. Go watch this video on exactly the Instagram strategies that I would implement right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time, and P.S. make sure you subscribe.